Hi, welcome to Checkpoint Running. I'm Dylan. Over the next several videos, we're going to be doing this route on the map here shown in blue. It's a beautiful route with those highlights you saw at the beginning. And so today, for this run, we're just going to be doing the orange part here. It's an uphill run. It's very challenging, but well worth it. And then in the next video, we'll be doing this teal or light blue. So without any further delay, we're going to go ahead and get started running here. As I mentioned, this is a uphill run. So it starts off, we're at Cunningham Falls State Park, and we're just starting off here with a really gentle jog. We're just going to get warmed up, adjusting my hat, making sure that I'm comfortable while I run. On the screen are statistics about my pace and what I'm experiencing out here on this run. But if you're following along in a treadmill or a bike or something like that, definitely adjust to how you feel and how this run feels. For this type of run, really should be feeling about a relative perceived effort, or an RPE, of about a 4 or a 5. So you should be able to have, a nice conversation, breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your nose. Generally not get, really hard workout if you want to do this, the same way that I have. Obviously, if you're feeling good or you want a really tough uphill workout, adjust, increase your speed, increase your incline, however you feel you need to do it. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is going to be part 1 of a 10-part series. And this is a beautiful area in Cunningham Falls State Park. But to get to the beautiful areas, we do need to challenge ourselves. And there are a number of really difficult climbs throughout this full series. This is the first one. This is Bob's Hill in Thurmont, Maryland, and it is approximately 1,000 feet of vertical climb over about 1.5 miles. So you can see here, we're already getting pretty steep. I'm already slowing down and really just power hiking this because this hill is just very challenging. Also, you may notice as we go along here, this route does have some technical bits to it. In fact, in one of the later parts, we're going to be doing a rock scramble in order to get up to a nice overlook at Wolf Rock. So lots of rocks and steep climbs throughout this run. So we're already, up at a 25% slope here. If your treadmill or bike doesn't go to that, don't worry. Just set it to whatever your max is if you're trying to match, the experience that I had on this trail. But if not, do what makes sense for you and just enjoy this trail. So I'm warming up here. I started this video completely cold. Just going to power hike, take my time. I've got my poles with me. I'm wearing a hydration vest, and I brought plenty of nutrition so that I could complete this run. The weather on this day also was especially warm for this time of year. It's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which for March, when this video is recorded, is quite warm. So I was taking my time and making sure that I didn't overexert myself and just get adjusted and adapted and warmed up. Here it's leveled off a bit. We're back down to 4 or 5% slope. So went ahead and stretched the legs a bit, continuing to warm up. Still not going very fast. 3 or 4 miles per hour on these technical trails is pretty good. There'll be some parts in future videos that are more flat and definitely some downhills because what goes up must come down. So stick with it for those. But I really like these uphill ones. I think that they provide a really good workout without being too stressful on your joints because you're taking fewer steps, going slower, and less impact on the joints as you run. And you get a nice reward at the top. At the top here, we have two overlooks. There's Bob's Hill South and Bob's Hill North that we can look out at, and you'll get to see those. And they're just gorgeous to see across the mountains and across the valleys here in central Maryland. Here it's gotten steep again, so I just start to actually use my poles. Before I was just carrying them in my hand just to get a feel for how the trail is going to go today. The technique I'm using here, where you see both hands come forward and then pull me up, I like that for climbing up. I think it's easier and more efficient than trying to do one at a time. Trying to like alternate with your legs as you might try to swing your arms when you run. And yeah, definitely feeling this. Just trying to push hard up the hill here as I warm up, and it starts to get steeper and steeper. I want to talk about this Thermont Loop series that I'm going to post over the next few weeks. I'll do 1 or 2 videos a week, so please check back if you are interested in doing the full loop and want to see everything and experience everything that I experienced out there. So this first part is Bob's Hill. Then we're going to run from Bob's Hill over to Cat Rock and down to Maryland 77, which is a roadway, a highway that runs through this part of the park. Then we're going to climb up to Chimney Rock and then run from Chimney Rock to Wolf Rock, and then from Wolf Rock to Thermont Vista to Hog Rock to Cunningham Falls, and from Cunningham Falls back to Bob's Hill, and then back down Bob's Hill. So each section is going to be a little bit different length, a little bit different challenge. So please, check back and, maybe these uphill climbs aren't for you. And that's okay. Not everybody wants to do these. So check back and you'll have a nice, some sections that are much flatter and some sections that are downhill. So if you're looking for a really nice downhill workout, you could check out some of the ones where we run, for example, down from Cat Rock or down from Bob's Hill later in the series. Back to this Bob's Hill, though, you can see we're up at 39% slope. This hill is just incredibly challenging. But I like this hill because it helps me train for these types of conditions. If you're new to the channel, I'm training currently to run the Transalpine Run. This is a race in Europe that goes from Austria to Switzerland and from Switzerland to Italy across the European Alps there, and has quite a bit of vertical gain and some very steep climbs. So in order to help me prepare for that, I've been challenging myself to come out and do these types of hills on my runs each week. And so I've come to love Bob's Hill here because it does emulate what I'll have in race conditions. And I notice each time that I do it, I do get stronger and I'm able to do it faster or run for longer. And so here we're maintaining, 3 miles per hour, even at 16% slope, which is challenging. A lot of people would struggle with this sort of thing at this pace. Many of the people that I see when they're hiking this are going at maybe 2 miles per hour. And so it'll take them about an hour to climb Bob's Hill here. And we're going to try to do it in about 30 minutes. So about twice as fast as somebody who's being leisurely and, taking their time with it. Because I'm trying to get a good workout here, and I hope you are too. You can also see in the bottom left here that we have an elevation profile for this run, and that'll be available for every part of this run, of this series. You can hear I'm breathing quite heavy. And it's gotten steep. We started out kind of on that flatter part of it, and now we're on a nice, steady, steep up incline. As I mentioned a little bit ago, I really like doing the uphills. I've heard hills called speed work in disguise. The reason that I've heard that is because these hills really, really work your cardiovascular system. They really get your heart pumping and get your lungs working. And I'm not even moving all of that fast. So the impact on my joints is lower. But I'm still getting that really good cardiovascular workout. It's also helping strengthen my Achilles tendon so that I can avoid injury. It's giving me a really good calf workout. And then with the added rocks here, although not super technical, like these aren't big rocks or rocks that you can't step on or anything like that, they still turn your foot a little bit, and that can help strengthen the ligaments, tendons that are on the sides of your ankles, and those little micro muscles that help you maintain balance. So this is a really good workout for kind of your whole lower leg. And then if you've ever used a stair climber or done many flights of stairs, you'll know that this will work your quads quite a bit as well. Just having to put your foot forward and then push your body weight up that little bit just to get that little bit of elevation gain and to keep moving forward. Yeah, hear my breathing again. This is just a very challenging one. Oh, my I just barely caught a twig there, and it took my hat off. So I had to pick that back up. And so this is also a really good core workout because you want to maintain a straight back and a straight line between your head and your feet. So you want to make sure that you're leaning forward at your ankles and not at your waist. I find the poles a little bit helpful here as well, just to save some energy. But this is just a great back and core workout as well, to be able to maintain your upper body in that straight line and maintain an efficient forward momentum and a good form for that. Still a long ways to climb, but we're about maybe a third to a halfway up. Just continuing to climb. It was super peaceful on this day. Just climbing. There's really not too many people out on the way up. And yeah, I just kind of got in a zone here and just kept pushing and pushing and trying to maintain a good, consistent effort, even at these steeper inclines. But I'm still just power hiking. I am sweating pretty hard at this point because, again, I said it was 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're pushing pretty hard up this hill. So I'm more than warmed up at this point, even though it's only 15 minutes in. But still just power hiking. I think trying to run this, I would have sapped my energy. And I knew that this was very early in the day. Being part one of 10 parts, this run was especially long and especially challenging, but so beautiful. So many overlooks and just beautiful scenery. This is also early spring in Maryland, so you're starting to see some of the greenery coming back in to the forest, which is really nice. So you'll see these 4x4s here, both on the side of the trail and in the trail. There's a volunteer organization that comes out and maintains this trail, and they've put in some of these to help with the steps and to prevent erosion as well.
Morning.
I'm always have mixed feelings about these sort of steps, because I think they're great if you are hiking, but if you are trying to run or move with any sort of speed, they can break up your stride or force you to have a stride that doesn't feel natural sometimes. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship with them. Sometimes if I'm really tired and moving slowly, I love them. But if I'm trying to move quickly and efficiently, it's just an extra step that just breaks my stride. And I would prefer to just have a trail. So that climb was really challenging. You saw maybe that we got up to 30% or more. So even though it's starting to level out here, I'm still walking because I'm catching my breath and just evaluating myself after about 20 minutes of effort. And I like to do that. I like to check in with myself. So maybe now would be a good time, if you're following along on a exercise bike or something like that, to check in. How do you feel? How does that climb feel? And maybe you could only do a 5% at 2 miles per hour or something, depending on where you're at in your fitness journey. But how did that feel? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling strong? I like to constantly check in with myself and ask myself those things, because if I'm already feeling kind of weak and I know that I've still got a long way to go on this run, I might want to start making adjustments. And it's not just how my body feels, in terms of muscles or heart or lungs or anything like that. I'm also evaluating how is my gear feeling on me. Do I have any chafing? Do I have anything that's rubbing me weird or poking me? Things like that. Are my shoes too tight, too loose? Are my socks slipping? Things like that. Because those little things will add up over the course of something as long as this whole series. Even just this uphill, if I had gotten, a rock in my shoe or something, I would have stopped to take it out, because it's just the irritation is just going to get worse and worse and less ignorable. So check in with yourself as we climb up these steps here and see how you feel and adjust. Should be feeling about an RPE 5 just because we are going up this hill, so you might start breathing through your mouth a bit. You might have a slightly higher heart rate. But if you plan to do, the full series all at once, you most certainly do not want to be in like an RPE 8. That's too much. If this is the only workout you're doing today and you are trying to do some speed work and using an uphill workout as your speed work, then yes, you go ahead, be RPE 7 or 8, because you're not going to be going nearly as far as I was going on this day. And here we can see, it's just so steep. We've slid down to 2 miles per hour from our 3 miles per hour, 25%, pretty much sustained slope here. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. It does level off a little bit here at the top, which was a nice relief. So now it's leveled off a bit. Catch your breath. Maybe get some water. If you have a gel or something like that, probably be a good time to take that. Help your body recover with those additional carbohydrates, maybe a little bit of protein. You'll feel a lot better if you do take some sort of nutrition during these workouts, because they are stressing your body so much. And definitely want to stay hydrated. So it's leveled back out. We're back up to 3 miles per hour. We can see on the elevation profile that even though it's leveled out a little bit, it's definitely not flat, and we still have some distance to climb, but the steepest slope and the most difficult parts are behind us as we work our way up to the top of Bob's Hill. It's times like this that I like to definitely remember why I'm out there and why I'm doing all this hard work. So I think about my goals, why I run to begin with. I think about the view that I'm going to see at the top. It's almost impossible to climb something this steep for this long and not have a gorgeous view. So I think about those things. I think about just talking to myself, right? So during the run, I do talk to myself, and I give myself words of encouragement. I say, you can do this, Dylan, you can do this. I think about my goals. I want to do well at Transalpine Run. I want to do well at the other races I have in between, and I want to be strong. And I tell myself this is how you get stronger. I think about the views. We have those highlights at the beginning of this part so that you get a sense of the kinds of epic things we're going to see and the epic views that we'll see by getting to the tops of these hills, no matter how challenging they are. And I keep that in mind. I really enjoy seeing new things and taking those moments to just soak in the experience. Just to stand on the edge of a rock, the edge of a cliff, top of a mountain, and just to take a minute and breathe and look. No cell phone, no distraction. I don't listen to music while I do these runs, and I just exist in the moment and enjoy it. And so climbing these sorts of mountains to experience that just adds to that moment. To know if I want this, I have to work hard and I have to train. There's no road up here, there's no cable car up here. If I want it, I have to do this effort. So it's a little bit flatter here. It's a very non-technical right here. There's very few rocks, roots, things like that. So we're going to run it out a little bit. Just stretch the legs. It's good to stretch the legs after such a hard climb at the slower speeds. And just getting a little run in to stretch out those legs just helps. It doesn't have to be for very long. Even just a 1 or 2 minute run to get those legs shaken out can help a lot and just get you out of the rhythm that you might have been in as you were power hiking up. Again, depending on where you are in your fitness journey, you should adjust. If you are unable to run at 4 miles per hour at an 18% slope, that's okay. Maybe your goal is just to be able to run at 4 miles per hour at 0% slope. That's okay. Do that. Maybe some of you out there, though, are way more fit than I am and are running this whole thing, even at the extreme 30%, 40% slopes. So everybody's at a different place in their journey. I'm just happy that you're here and sharing this journey with me. So hang with me. We're almost there, almost to the top of the hill. Just about 5 more minutes of really good, solid climbing here. Just focus on the trail. Try to look 10 feet in front of you, 15 feet in front of you, see what's coming up. Don't look down at your feet. That's not good for your airflow, like getting air in through your nose or mouth and down into your lungs when you bend your neck down like that. And also, if you are on a trail, in the future, maybe you do a run on a trail, and I hope I inspire you to try trail running because I love it. I didn't start trail running until about 2018, but maybe you'll try it. But if you look down at your feet, you're only reacting to directly what's under you, and you end up wasting a lot of energy adapting to a sudden rock or root or something like that. But if you can look out 10 or 15, maybe 20 feet, depending on how fast you're running, in front of you, and just prepare to have your legs, feet, body in the right position, you'll become much faster, much more efficient runner on the trails. So here I'm running. It's not fast, still going uphill. This is, still difficult even for me, and challenging. And I'm in no hurry to wear myself out. Just back to using the poles, helping, using my back, my arms to keep my body moving forward, keep that forward momentum going. One more set of stairs.
Oh, look at these steps. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm feeling it at this point. One more set of steps. Almost there. Keep pushing, keep pushing. Just gotta keep going. One step at a time. I'm just taking deep breaths. Making sure I breathe in all the way down into my belly. Just working my way up, knowing I'm almost at the top. About 20 more steps. It's leveling out as well, so we'll be able to use less effort. So here we are. This is the top, Bob's Hill.
Oh.
And so we get some epic views now.
Take a look.
This is South Bob's Hill Overlook. So we'll go out here on these rocks.
I think we'll stay here. It's a long drop there.
I was just saying there's a long drop. There's a pretty big crevice in the rock there, so I don't want to fall. And we can get a really good view from here. So you can see very far across the valley there near Thurmont, Maryland. And here's North Bob's Hill, also overlooking Thurmont, Maryland. So we are overlooking the eastern side of the mountain from a northern and southern perspective. As a reminder, here's what we're going to do in the next video. This is Bob's Hill, past Cat Rock, all the way down to Maryland 77. It's a really fun downhill run. So I hope you'll join me for that. See you in the next one.